You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports 2. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, like, comment, share it out. We appreciate everybody that watches YouTube, Spotify, Rumble is video, and of course everybody that listens via podcast. So this is something you don't ever see from what is, generally speaking, a lot of these guys are, let's be honest, a lot of these NFL players can be very selfish. And there was a time when Le'Veon Bell was very selfish, and he's admitting that. What you don't see, and this may be a byproduct of regret or whatever, you don't see a player that screwed up his career take out a camera, I'm sure it was a phone, but nonetheless, it's still a camera, pull it out and apologize to the city he played for having left and admitting he screwed it all up and he should have just taken the contract. Guys, we forget exactly how great Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, and Ben Roethlisberger was for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They had one of the baddest ass offenses we had seen in a very long time. Remember, they were called the Killer Bees. That was a thing, and it was because Le'Veon Bell had 3 years where he was over 1,200 yards rushing, had a shit ton of receiving yards, and scored a lot of touchdowns. Then he made a fatal flaw. Looking right at you, Deshaun Watson. He set out an entire season. It generally does not go well when a player chooses to sit out like that. Whatever happens, we don't know, but skills tend to deteriorate. He comes back, he signs a deal with the Jets. I'm sure Jets fans cannot stand Le'Veon Bell because obviously it was a horrible signing. Then he tried it with other teams, and it just didn't work out. He last played in 2021, and it looks like a once promising career. I mean, he's not nearly the F-up that Antonio Brown is. I want to be fair here, but, you know, Antonio Brown, he at least kept it together on the field long enough to put up arguable Hall of Fame numbers because he at least got a Super Bowl ring out of it and caught 12,000 yards. Le'Veon Bell, he doesn't have the numbers. He's not going to make it. And he took out a phone and a camera and shockingly apologized to the Steelers and basically the fans for leaving Pittsburgh. And look, there's no telling where this guy's career would have ended up because we know how Pittsburgh feels about the running game and putting an emphasis on that running game and making sure a guy gets fed the rock. It's always been a thing. It's always been a priority for Mike Tomlin. Not to mention, I think Mike Tomlin's one of the best coaches out there. So let's get to this outkick. Le'Veon Bell is feeling the sting of having left the Pittsburgh Steelers after a contract holdout in 2018. Bell's latest message to Steelers Nation saw the only 31-year-old. God, that shows you how much the league has changed. You know, back in the 80s into the 90s, it wasn't unusual to see a guy play, you know, till they were 35, even at running back. You know, he didn't even play last year. Saw the 31-year-old apologizing for leaving Pittsburgh in a sour split. The former NFL running back is still hunting for his next NFL team, despite not having played since 2021. I just don't know where that chance would come from. Bell was arguably the league's most elusive running back at the height of his career. In 2018, Bell held out for a record deal with the Steelers, which never came to fruition, leading to a trade to the Jets. Now, Bell hopes his apology can land him one more Steelers contract to retire with the team that drafted him. And guys, I would suspect the Steelers will re-sign him to a one-year deal. This was some comments he made a while back about that. I never officially retired. The day when I do retire, it's going to be with Pittsburgh. Like I'm trying to retire with Pittsburgh. But before I do that, I might be like, hey, let me get a couple of carries in the preseason so I can show y'all something. So, look, he's wanting to play for the Steelers. So I would keep that in mind here. With the Steelers, I would do a little preseason like, all right, boom, boom. I would not do that anywhere else because I don't think about playing. It literally would only be in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is where I'll retire. You know what I'm saying? That's just it because I already been other places. It's not Pittsburgh. Look, guys, the grass is not always greener, and some of these guys find that out. He could sign a one-day contract with the Steelers still, but the players don't officially retire. A player's retirement is the year they last played a game, and that was after the 2021 season. His career is finished and has been for a while. So let's listen to Le'Veon here.
I never apologize to the fans for really sitting out or leaving the Steelers. I never apologize. So I'm going to say I apologize for leaving the best damn fans there is in this damn world. I shouldn't have left. I apologize. I should never have left. I apologize. That's my fault. That's on me. I never.
And so there it is. I mean, he took out a phone and said, look, I apologize. I should not have left. Bell earned several Pro Bowl selections in 5 seasons with the Steelers and crossed the 1,200-yard rushing mark thrice. And he got 42 rushing touchdowns out of the deal, 6,554 yards. I mean, let's look at this. 1,361, 1,268, 1,291. But then you go over here. 854 receiving, 616 receiving, 655 receiving. I mean, the guy was a true weapon, 3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, and he truly was a real weapon catching the ball out of the backfield. And it's kind of sad how it turned out, but it was sort of on him at this point, was it not? You know, how this whole thing went. How the whole thing progressed for Le'Veon Bell. I don't know. It looks to me like he is trying to he is trying to get that contract for a one-day I want to retire. But I think this guy still believes he's got something left in the tank, and I just don't know that I actually agree with that. There was a time, I mean, Adrian Peterson played to what, 36 or 37. Frank Gore played to 35, 36, 37, 38 years old. But both of those guys were true, give me the ball, carry, 2 times every 3 downs kind of guys for like their first 10 or 12 years before they started having to jump teams and this and that and the other, and this didn't turn out that way at all. So tell me what you think. I thought it was very interesting that he chose to step up and literally pull out a phone and tell the fans and the city that he was sorry for leaving. He made a mistake. I do think there's some truth in that. I think he knows that. Hindsight's 20/20, but, I do also believe he hopes he can land a contract with the Steelers to play. I do think he hopes that. I don't blame him. If I was him, I'd hope that too. I don't know. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.